Check out Samuel Brock Flynn Show on Spotify, iHeart and Samuel Flynn Photography page today. Check out the podcast on Spotify and iHeart today.
Hello everyone, it's me, Samuel, with the Samuel Brock Flynn Show tonight. I have Mr. Wayne on the phone. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Wayne?
Great, thank you.
I'm doing great too. I'm actually doing pretty good, so I just thought I would check in with you to see how you're doing. So,
Well, like I was telling you a little bit earlier, it's just so surprising that people are not able to stand up for what they believe in. Like the Democratic Party right now, they won't even talk about their plans for if they won the election. I don't think they're going to win anyway. I think they're going to lose by a great amount. But I think that these kind of people are so used to winning that they think there's no other way. It's just going to happen their way. And if it takes ballot stuffers, if it takes whatever, like they did last year. I mean, they had 2,000 mules that were stuffing all the ballot boxes in the swing states. Every one of them. Yeah, they went in and pumped in hundreds of thousands of votes into Philadelphia because they needed Pennsylvania. So this is what these people are up to. They're crooked, they're low down, they're rotten. We can't trust anything they say. I mean, they won't even talk about their what they have planned for America, what their plans are to help Americans. They don't even want to say. They don't want to take any questions. Just,
my question to you for tonight is: how do you feel about cryptocurrency? And my other question for tonight as well is: how do you feel about the stock market crash and the supposed recession?
Well, number one, if you want to buy some cryptocurrency, I'll make you up some, and it'll be more valuable than the stuff that they give you. I can do that. But I don't want to hold other people's money under the pretense that they're going to get back more money later on. I mean, to me, it's like a shell game, Well, which
it's almost sounds like gambling. You're gambling your 50% of your money to get 1,000 more percent of your money. It's weird. Like, think about it.
Yeah, sometimes it is. I mean, they want you to think you're going to buy cryptocurrency and it'll be good for you for a while. Well, what happens if they go broke? I mean, anybody ever try that one out? The only reason the Federal Reserve doesn't go broke is they're the ones that print up the money and burn all the old money. So they have quite a bit of say-so of what happens with that money when it comes in their control.
Right.
And that's all being handled by the Democrats right now.
Right. Well, how do you feel about, I've seen people are getting arrested now for airing their opinion about the current political situation, the current stuff that's going on. How do you feel about that? How do you feel people getting arrested for almost just anything these days? Wait a minute. That supposedly these veterans and these people are promised. I can't live or even support something that says, you serve your country and it's for your freedoms to be, your freedoms, fight for your freedoms. Well, I'm sorry, but how's it fighting for your freedoms when you're just getting arrested today for airing or expressing your opinion? How is that freedom? I mean, and how are people? How do you think those veterans and people feel that that live in a society that says, "Oh yeah, go fight for your freedom," but the real truth is, these people that go out here and express their opinion. The Southern come out of me there for a minute. Um, the people that express their opinion are getting arrested for their opinion, or investigated by their opinion, and they're just all I don't think that's right. I don't think that's those people are going to feel like they're being lied to, especially after being told you're fighting for your freedom, got to fight to keep our freedoms. Well, if that's the truth, then why are people getting arrested for airing or expressing their opinion on podcasts, or expressing their opinion on any kind of thing? This is not a country that was built on you know um, arresting people for freedom of speech. Know, our country wasn't built. It was built up on to be free and patriotic, and being a real patriot of the United States. That's not freedom if you're getting arrested for expressing your opinion. That is not okay with me, and that's not okay with the veterans out there that served. I'll say that much. So, I would express our own government to apologize to those veterans out there for being lied to if they're going to start arresting people for freedom of speech. And not only that, maybe give them a back pay or some kind of thing like that too for doing that kind of stuff. So I think they should be held accountability. Where's the accountability? Lie to us and blah 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 and blah. We need to hold people accountable for their actions, things like that. That's what real adult gentlemen people do. But if they're not going to do it, then I don't know what kind of country we live in then.
Yeah.
So, but what was you going to say? I'm sorry.
It's appalling how people try to just shove off any questions about, what they're trying to push. They don't even tell you. They just smile and say everything's going to be all right. You don't have to worry. Everything's going to be all right. And it's not. This is like, it's horrible.
Right.
And like right now in Lane, Michigan, they've been up there doing a rally, and they don't even talk about what they're going to do with their presidency, and so they don't know what they're going to do. It's obvious, or that they would be talking about it. They thought they had something good to show the American people. They would do it. They don't have anything. Kamala is dumb as a bag of rocks. Okay, she just is. She's a real low IQ woman, and the way she talks, you can tell that she even has to reach around to try to get the right word with what she was trying to say, and to say it in a special way so people will listen to her. But it sounds retarded. I mean, she sounds retarded, and then she opens her mouth all real big. I mean, she might think that's okay, but she looks kind of like a horse a little bit, like mouth all wound up open. I mean, come on, that's like retarded.
Right. Well, I mean, how do you feel about what I had to say on the podcast a while ago? I think that really nailed it down to a point. How do you feel?
Well, I think that anybody that's running for election should not be afraid to talk to the media. Number one, they should not be afraid. Why are they afraid to talk to the media? These are people that throw softball pitches to them. This is like MSNBC, CBS, ABC, all these places that are known to be like watching out for the Democrats. They're just part of the Democratic Party. That's all they are. Is they're just part of the Democratic Party, and they use all their time. Just about everything that they do is pushing up Kamala everywhere she goes, and have people talk good about what's going on, and all these people coming in, and well, that one skinny black guy, I can't remember his name, but he didn't like the way they were doing people not coming out and talking about their plans for America. Like, don't you have any plans? Are you just winging this whole thing, thinking you can smile your way into the presidency?
Wow.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to smile their way in, and they just falsify the possible. How they do well, they're good here, they're bad here, they got this here, they should be saying this or that. When they're planning their attack on the other people, they don't even care that they don't say anything about what they plan on doing. They literally do not care. So to them, it doesn't matter whether people like it or not. And they don't like their constituents. They don't like the people that they're supposed to be helping. They don't like the Democratic people in the party. I mean, come on. I mean, they treat them like scum, They treat them like servants, And why should they be able to get away with this? And this guy, Mr. Walls, he's as fake as a $3 bill. He didn't even finish his time in the service, but yet calls himself the most highly decorated soldier to come out of the National Guard and going into politics. All it was a lie. He just lied about it because it sounded better that he would be a master, whatever they call it, a master in charge of his all the background stuff to go with him. He's just hiding a lot of his background, and he's about he wants to take children away from families in Michigan or I think he's in Milwaukee, right? He's either in Michigan or Milwaukee. But anyway, one of them's there and the other one's there too. So they're jumping back and forth in all these states, the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign. But these people aren't doing nothing but just talking about, oh, she's so smart. Oh, she's so this. Well, if she's so smart, why doesn't she talk about correcting the economy that her and Joe Biden signed off on and borrowed trillions of dollars? They borrowed trillions of dollars. And what did they do with that money? There needs to be accountability for every penny of the money those people took in. If they took in trillions of dollars to be used by the government, where is the money at now? And who authorized it to be given out? That's what I say. I say check these people out. They're capable of lying, stealing, false, fake news. They're great with their fake news stuff. I mean, they just run that, throwing it around like it's the gospel truth, And it's nothing but a lie. They don't even care. They don't even care that people know that they're lying. I mean, what kind of people are these? These are nobody that we want running our country. I'll tell you that. Kamala running our country and this Rawls guy. I mean, you're looking at.
Well, hey, Mr. Wayne. It's hold on, just a second. Let me see.
Idiots in control of this country.
Yeah.
They won't be restrained. They will attack us right away.
Mr. Wayne, I feel like half of the time I mean, there's human beings out there, but sometimes I feel like some of these human beings are robots and can't think for themselves. And I don't know if some people are,
what they do is they get brainwashed by this Democratic Party,
or
and they need to go into therapy and get rid of this lying, deceitful ways that these people are all teaching each other. They think it's okay to lie. They don't care what they're talking about. They want to lie about it. They can lie about it, and it's perfectly okay.
I mean, these people are as bad as an AI robot, and it's like, I'm like, I get tired of that. I mean, it's bad enough the jobs out here look at you like, oh, he's too smart, got to get rid of him, or he's got a degree, got to get rid of him. I mean, the companies, you can't be stupid.
In the management area, so if they have somebody that's overqualified, they just play them off like they're stupid,
Yeah, insult people's intelligence. I mean,
yeah, they insult people's intelligence. They insult me just by getting up on stage and having to look at them. They are so pathetic. They are the scum of the bottom of the bucket of the Democratic Party. Kamala was below Biden by about 3 or 4 points. This guy here, he was cutting off having the genitals of little kids cut off, and mastectomies for little girls that want to be men, and for little boys that want to be girls. They're actually, like doing mastectomies and these horrible sex changes. And these kids are only like 5 to 7 years old. And if their parents won't go along with it, they take them away from their parents and say they have a right because they say so. That's insanity. Somebody's going to walk up and take a gun and put it in that guy's face, and that'll be the last time he'll say anything like that to somebody.
Right.
That's what they're doing. Hey, if somebody took my kids and said, "Oh, I'm good," they want to transfer their genders, I would say, "Well, thank you very much, but I'll talk to my own children about that." Who wouldn't? And this guy's forcing families to give up their kids so they can go get change of gender operations.
Wow.
That guy, that's what he does in his state. Plus, he gives driver's license to illegals, aliens, and they're registered to vote in his stinking state. And that was their whole plan. Always, their plan was to bring these people in and use them for voters.
Wow.
And replace the black and the Hispanic communities with these new people, because they're not stable enough. The blacks and the Hispanics are starting to lean towards Trump. So now they just want to come in with this, illegal aliens voting. They're not even American citizens. What is wrong with these people? These people are, people, wake up. And you people out there, don't let this happen to America. This is not what America was founded on.
Right.
It was God and church and family. That's how our lives used to be, and people were happy that way. At least under Trump, we had enough money to live. I remember how it was.
Right. And
these people, they put it down. They wanted to give me and my wife, I think it was $62 for our Social Security SNAP benefits. $60, that's $30 a person to live on all month long for me and my wife, because we're both on Social Security. But these people they don't have any conscience. They're eating in 5-star restaurants. They don't care. Pelosi's got a wall around her house so big that nobody can get over it. And if they do, they got armed guards there to stop them if they ever come over the other side.
Right.
These people are elitists. They're liars. They're fakes. They're phonies. and they don't know anything about government. Kamala couldn't tell you why the Bidenomics didn't work. She couldn't tell anybody what was wrong with that because she doesn't understand it. I guarantee you, she doesn't understand anything about Bidenomics. You know, she's just ignorant to stuff like that. You don't hear her say anything intelligent about fixing it. You know, so she hasn't figured that one out yet. So she just doesn't say anything about it. You know,
Right. I mean, what United States needs to do is, for one, make amends with Russia. Number two, what needs to happen is,
Russia got
you know,
anything to do with this whole thing?
I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Is all I'm saying. Um, I think what we need to do is restore relationships with countries
Yeah.
and become allies of other countries if we can. I believe in you know people coming together, but it's everything's so divided. I mean, I'm talking about it's so divided. People put now. Wait a minute. It's so bad. Well, wait a minute. So people are so bad that they call themselves Christians and then have visceral hatred towards Trump and other people, and we're not really supposed to have hatred in our hearts. Period. If we're saved and Christians. So, and then another thing is, there people are putting politics in front of friends, which has happened to me a lot. I mean, even though like I would disagree with who they're going for, but but when they hear who I'm supporting, they're like, "Oh, stay away from him!" Blah blah blah. It's just created division, and it's just like, wow. And then they have visceral hatred towards me, which, I mean, but if you had a heart and not be so cold blooded, you would be a Christian, and I'm sure, you would be um, following the Bible. But if you're not, neither, if you're trying to follow the Bible but also have hatred towards someone, that's not really following the Bible and a commitment to Christ and a commitment to anything like that out there at all. So there's just a lot of people that put a lot of politics in front of friends and family. Let's not forget that. So,
Yeah.
but everything needs to be, um, people need to come back together. Um, and it's and I'm sure you're not for this wokeness either. I can tell you that much. I could tell.
No,
I could tell.
I'm not for any kind of wokeness. That's yeah. Turn woke and go broke. That's how it works.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately that these companies don't hear us out. That hey, this and this. Yeah. I've had actors and movie directors on my podcast that said no to woke. Why support the ideology, especially what happened to Trump on July the 13th when somebody attempted to assassinate Donald Trump? Why support the woke agenda or the woke ideology? Because what it has done is create many problems for you or your company. I would stop supporting it.
Divisions. It's caused so many problems, and it's all being done by the Democratic Party. They're just like an evil beast machine, is what they're like. They're like if you had.
I'll say this much.
Remember that one thing? How the West was won. It was like Will Smith and there was some guy that had these spider legs, and he was like a pirate on a big climbing robotic machine that he was riding on, and he would go through, killing people and everything because he thought he was going to have his own kind of government. That's what he wanted. And it was a movie that Will Smith was in. Finally, they got the guy, overcame him, and took him down. But I mean, this kind of stuff. What do we have to do? I mean, these people should be outlawed for their thought, for going along with Hamas. We are Hamas. We are Hamas. Well, if they are Hamas, like they said they were, then they need to be arrested and put into a rehabilitation camp because they are so messed up in their mind, they don't even know what they're saying. I mean, it's just total ridiculous. There's not even a reason for anybody to think the way that they do. That's the best way to explain it. And folks, there is no such thing as blue dog Democrats anymore. The old-timey Democrat people got pushed out of the way for this new perversion, woke perversion that they preach to our children, our kids, that, the little boy could be a girl, the little girl could be a boy. No, that's wrong. That's not what they're called to be. That wasn't why they were born into this world. They were born into this world to have a life and to have success and to have a happy life. And now these people want to mess it up by having them change their gender, and they don't even know what kind of decision they're making because these are kids. These are kids, 8 to 12 years old. These kids don't have any idea what they're doing. These are not 18-year-olds. These are little kids that they're getting sex changes, and they're getting it done through the government, and it can't be reversed. Once they do it, they're stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
At 5 to 8 years old, here's these little kids stuck with whatever they got. But anyway, I guess we told people tonight. I hope people start listening. Everything that we say on this podcast, you can find even in the news, but you can't see it in the fake news. The fake news just lies. CBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, and all those things, CNN, all of them, they just lie through their teeth. I never seen anything more ridiculous. And some people say, well, how you just think that you listen to Fox News, so you think you're so smart. They're the ones that lie about everything. Well, what if you're right there for the beginning of remember when they had that, I think it was a Pulse nightclub over there in Lakeland? That guy walked in and pulled the Allah Akbar and took out an AK-47 and shot like 30, 40 people, tried to kill everybody in the building. And
wow.
And people just let him do it. And I watched that, and I was there when I was watching them take him out of the building, and they were saying what the guy said, Allah Akbar, and then shoot people. So that's how these Muslim extremists do, and that's what we should call them, Muslim extremists, crazies. These are crazy people. They don't have brains in their head anymore. They're so indoctrinated into this false, wicked doctrine that they don't care. They just want to hurt anybody that doesn't agree with them. So if that's what you want, I mean, you can have those kind of people all around you. And, they matter of fact, all these people that are saying, oh, we're gays for Hamas. Well, guess what the first thing they do if those kind of people went over to Iran? The mullahs would take them and hang them off of cranes and kill them and murder them or throw them off of 5-story buildings to kill them because they're homosexuals or they're lesbians, because they don't allow that in their culture. but they'll use them here like they're faithful little goonies, to do all kinds of crazy stuff and attack people and go after people that are of Jewish lineage. Why do they have a right to go after Jewish people? Why aren't they being stopped immediately as soon as they try to hurt or persecute a Jewish person? They should be enough cops around those places, especially around colleges, that they should stop that stuff immediately and bust their heads if they have to. These people, they hit cops, they throw this other stuff. 3 or 4 of them jump on a cop's back and try to drag him off of somebody. I watched them do it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not a good thing what's going on out here. Definitely
No,
not. And
it's really bad, and people need to recognize how bad it really is. I mean, when they're telling you that if you don't think the way they do, then there's something wrong with you. No. There's something wrong with them because they're so screwed up in their mind. They don't even know what they believe in.
You know how many times I've heard that on a job or on a place? Many times I'm like, you understand, you're talking to somebody that's went to school for some stuff, and you're not even honoring that. But however, and there are some people that are out there that just like to take advantage of people and tell them that
they'll rip people off, they'll take their money, they'll call them idiots and humiliate them and tear up their neighborhoods, everything. They'll beat them, and they killed that one Jewish guy. The guy came up behind him and hit him in the back of the head with some kind of, I can't remember what it was. I think it was a vocal, one of those loudspeaker things. He took it and smashed the back of it into the guy's head and cracked the man's skull, and he fell down on the ground and bled to death. And then they said, he's not gonna bring charges against that guy. What? He murdered the guy. It's open and shut. Put first-degree murder on there. He deliberately hit the guy in the head, trying to break his skull with that mega horn that he had. Those things, you put batteries in them, they weigh about 8 pounds. You smack somebody hard in the head with 8 pounds, like a weight. Say take a 5-pound weight and slap somebody in the back of the head. You'll split their skull in 36 flavors.
Yeah.
But these people are so insidious. They don't care who they hurt, they say they have to hurt. They say that that's their reasonable duty is to hurt whoever they have to in the Republican Party, because they're just MAGAs anyway. They're not anybody. It's okay to hurt them. You can hurt them. You can hurt the Jews. You can attack Jewish people.
And it's so sad. It's so sad, though, today's day and time, that if you're a Trump supporter, you're looked at, and let's say you're going to a job, okay, and they notice that you're a Trump supporter, they do not want you there. They're going to find a way to fire you, not hire you, whatever, and it's sad. Do what?
Did you run off from your job?
There was an interview or so that caused me question the employment practices, and there was one job that I also questioned because they pulled me in the room, seen my podcast, and they were like, "Well, we have to let you go," blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, this all makes sense. Like, why, And I'm like, okay, why are they pulling me away from this job, and whatnot? They weren't real specific. That's what killed.
No, they're never going to be specific, because specifically, they just want you out of there, and they don't want you to have a job. They want you to feel the shortage and the pain of not having enough food, not having enough gas, and all that. That's all they care about.
I guess that's what they meant. We're going to make these Trump supporters pay, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they think they're doing. They think that anything they do to us, we deserve it, and any way that they have to treat us to win is okay, you know. And anything they have to do to MAGA supporters or people that support Donald Trump, it's okay. You can do anything to them you want. Well, they're going to find out that they're going to get hurt, you know, because they're going to do it to the wrong people, and then they're going to wind up getting their butts kicked real hard. You know, a lot of them, that's what they need. They need to feel a real good butt kicking so that they can, you know, get over how they think they're like the ones that are in charge of everything, and they're the ones that are supposed to be in charge. Well, they're not. They're not in charge of my life, that's for sure, and they never will be. You know, and all I think about them is that they're just doting little, I think I would call them didactic sycophants. You know, they're like bootlickers, you know. They're like so taken by each other that they just follow blindly and go along with all their indoctrinations. That's what these people sink down to, just being used by the Democratic Party. That's what they do. So if they want to do that, I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, at least shouldn't you get paid for what you want to do? You know, if you want to help somebody, you should get paid, you know. You know, what's going on with these people? These people just, they want to hurt anybody they can, and they don't care who they hurt. And, you know, they've done it to people in Minnesota, all over up there in the Rust Belt. You know, they've just gone after people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. Donald Trump's going to win so big that it's going to blow everybody's mind.
I cannot believe that they would do that to so many people. But I hope the Trump administration goes after these employers, and I hope that they go and
they have to, because what they're doing is they're using illegal tactics,
discrimination
practices away
practices
from their jobs.
Yeah,
and hurt people, and to
there's more. Did you know there's more?
Did you know? Wait a minute.
Did you know there's more homelessness right now than there was back then? There's always been homelessness, no, period. But you know, there's been, you know. So I mean, I'm just saying, there's people that are Trump supporters that's lost jobs. It's, I'm sure some of them went out and retired and things like that. But still, it's just how is that right to discriminate against somebody's political views? Whether, you know, how is that right to do people that way?
I saw people do that to you, Samuel. I watched them do it. I watched them fire you because you like Donald Trump. I watched them, you know, tell you to get off the property one time even. You know, these people are diabolical. They just think that they can say whatever they want, and because they work for a woke company, that they're going to protect them.
Yeah. Well, woke agenda. The woke has the woke is supporting a criminal ideology because look, you know.
That's what that is exactly what the left believes in. They brought in all these radical people from other countries that are coming over and killing women and raping them and raping little girls and murdering them. And they don't think it's no big deal.
Yeah, and how can they live with themselves with that?
Yeah, I mean, what is wrong with these people? If they don't have a conscience, they should not be in politics.
Yeah, if they're going to be an AI, they're more concerned about turning themselves into an AI robot than being human. That's what their problem is.
Well, I don't care what they do. they can all go jump off. They take a long walk on a short beer, as far as I'm concerned. You know,
Right.
They're a bunch of didactic sycophants. Look it up.
Right.
They're just suck ups to do anything that the Democratic Party tells them, and to not use their own mind. They're not allowed to use their own mind, because if they did, they would know some of these things are wrong. I mean, you can't just put people out of jobs because you disagree with their political stance. You can't do that to people. That's discrimination. And it's all planned discrimination. They do it and then they cover it up.
And then they go and about it.
Yeah. And then you see
The hackling hyena. Hackling
Indian
hyena.
black lady with a big mouth going, with her big fat mouth stretched like she looks like some kind of animal. I mean, she doesn't even look human. She's so deranged and thinks that's cute or pretty or whatever. I mean, she looked like a complete nut. She don't look like anybody that I would trust with atomic football, that's for sure. You know, what's wrong with these people? What? Have they got any brains? If they let these people, you know what I think? The backers of Kamala and this other guy, Walls, they're the ones expecting to change their complete position on ruling over the party. And these people, they want to go after everybody they can. And that's what they do.
Yep. Well, I do appreciate you coming on to the podcast tonight, Mr. Wayne, and God bless your family and soul and what you do and things.
Yeah, you too.
So.
You too, Steve. And you hang up there. Don't get discouraged. You hang in there. Don't you get discouraged about these people, because they're going to lose in November. They're going to lose everything. They're going to lose the Senate and the House and the White House. They're going to lose it all. Okay? Because God is done with these kind of hypocritical people.
All right.
You know, they're just diabolical.
Right. Well,
you have a great night.
You too. Take care. Have a great night. Thank you guys for listening to the Samuel Brock Flynn Show. We are done.